Welcome to another Realm Show. My name is Chris Biesterfeld. Today we have a very special guest, Dave Weiss, aka Flat Earth Dave. Dave, welcome to another Realm. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Few gremlins there before we got started, but here we are, 9 minutes late.
Yeah, no big deal. Listen, anything can happen in another realm. This is the tree of trust. You can say anything, you can almost do anything here that the algorithm lords let us talk about. But so listen, I think I think Guy Anderson reached out to you, a friend of mine, and
Yep.
so I'm just so grateful that you were able to come on, and I feel honored to have you on. You've been somebody that I've followed, I've listened to. You usually bring the receipts. I know you've got your screen up there today, but how did this whole thing start? What was life like before your name was Flat Earth Dave?
Wow, that's a good question. I used to do a conspiracy podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, and we looked into all of the deceptions. And it was when Flat Earth came up, I kind of rejected it, like 99% of the people do, and made fun of the people that suggested it. But then I was forced to look. And what was life like? Well, I'm born on the East Coast, went to college, went to corporate America, escaped corporate America, started my own business, was making more money. I was the CEO of my own company with a couple partners. I achieved everything that I put my mind to in my life. But at the same time, I was doing a podcast on the side, looking into the deceptions of this world. And it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had to make a choice. Do I walk away from everything I was told that I was supposed to work my entire life towards, that I've accomplished, and go out on a limb where people ridicule me, where I'm not sure how I'm going to make any money? And I did it. I asked God for a sign. I got 3. It was horrifying. And I did it. And here I am, and I don't regret it.
So what do you think is the most annoying thing about telling people that you're flat earth or anything like that? Is there one thing that you just like, I constantly have to tell people this about what I believe? That there's some major misconception that you're just like, I have to just address this first before we even begin. Is there anything like that?
Well, a lot of people, they try to figure out how to bring it up. I'm Flat Earth Dave. Everyone knows I'm Flat Earth, so I don't have to bring it up. They all bring it up. And
Right.
I love it. I mean, what do Flat Earthers do when they're out in public? They're waiting for an opportunity to bring up Flat Earth. They're worse than vegans, right? How do you tell a vegan in the room? They'll tell you, okay?
Right.
So, and I'm not making any judgment on vegans, but I'm just saying we just want to talk to other people about this. And for me, I'm so far out there that it comes up all the time, and I like it. I like it. So the most annoying thing is having to do. I mean, it's not even annoying. It makes my job easy. It's the new people, and that's what I'm interested in. The new people. You're already a flat earther, right?
Right.
You're not on the top of my list of people to go after, right? It's the people that are brand new, and they ask the same dumb questions, right? You see my shirt. You're not stupid. It's stupid, right? Somebody said I should change it to "It's not stupid. You're stupid," because that's how I feel sometimes. They both kind of say the same thing, and have the flat Earth on it instead of the globe. It'd be funny, wouldn't it be funny?
Yeah, it would be funny.
I'd buy that shirt. So,
but I think for me, because I'm obviously team flat power. I've got the map on the wall. I'm not sure I've dealt with my publicness of this theory well in the beginning. I think I was very abrasive and stuff like that, and was trying to prove people wrong, and I just didn't have the wits about me. So anyhow, I've sort of just taken it a little bit easier, and I'm allowing people their own time to play with the idea.
In your life, how many people close in your town? Do they know you're a flat earther? Are they flat? Like in your family, is your family flat? Where are you? You all alone?
Yeah, I'm pretty alone. I mean, my wife and maybe 1 or 2 of my kids, but that's pretty much it.
But your wife's
a big
on
family
board.
too.
Your wife's
my
on
wife.
board.
My wife's on board.
Thank God. Thank God for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And your kids, they will find in their time, because you know what? I can't even convince my kids, but my kids' friends are convincing them.
Mm.
So you convincing people in your own family, that's the toughest. So
Oh, yeah.
don't stress on it. It will come to them. See, we're on the side of the truth, the light. In time, everyone's going to find out about this. And I don't think there's that much time. It's growing faster and faster. It's getting stronger and stronger. I just did a massive, huge podcast. It's not coming out until January, but it's going to be big.
I saw the teaser.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw the
It's
teaser. It's
really
nice.
good.
It's like a banger.
Yeah,
That
it's
guy
good.
brings it. He
Yeah,
brings
yeah.
it.
He's the man. And I guaranteed, I have a great track record. It's not because I'm so good. It's because this topic is so good. And I say, have me on. I'll guarantee you three things. One, it'll go longer than you wanted it to go. Two, you'll invite me back. And three, it'll be one of your highest viewed podcasts, which is true for 99% of the shows I go on. Well, he normally goes an hour to an hour and a half. We went 3 hours like that. He invited me back before we started recording. Okay. And when it comes out, it's going to be a banger. It's going to be
I
huge.
know it.
It's going to be huge.
So, okay. So, you make the leap, you take a big risk. Obviously you start this app. I know you have this flat earth app. I'm going to get it. My wife and we're dealing with some sort of credit card issue on our friggin' Apple phone. So we're going to get it. But, so how did that all start? You were so into it. You're like, oh, this is a business opportunity.
Well, actually, no. I actually looked at it just as a tool. I made the app kind of for myself, because when I'd be talking to people in public, I'd be looking for videos and like, where's that friggin' time lapse video that Rob Skiba made? And then I'd add pictures to my photos. And I have to scroll through my photos. I'm looking for the damn picture I want to show somebody, and it didn't go well. I said, you know what? I had made an app before. I had made another app years ago, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can get this app done. And I came up with the idea for an app, and I put it out there, and the guy said, yeah, I could do it. And it was a couple $1,000. I was like, do it. Right. And I wasn't even going to sell it. I wasn't even going to publish it. I was just going to have it on my phone. So then I started showing people, like, where can I get that app? And I was like, you know what? Let me publish it. It costs a couple $100 to get an Apple account. So I uploaded it, and it was free. And I uploaded it for free, and people started downloading it. Crazy. And people are using it as a tool. And then people are like, hey, could you add this? I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. And I added a feature after feature after feature. I'm adding all these features. It's starting to add up. Then some of the features actually took a lot of, more money, and they use data and need servers, and they cost monthly. So I said, well, I need to charge more than $3 for the app, but I don't want to scare people away. Oh no, so I started charging $3 for the app, and then when I got to the point where the features started outweighing the $3 cost, I came up with a subscription, $11 a year. That's a nothing, right? I'm not paying $11 a year, but then you buy a round of shots for everybody at the bar, and there's 10 years of the subscription. So I did that, and basically I did it not as a business opportunity. Here's the thing: my entire life, I did everything to make money. To be good, that's what we're trained to do. You want to make money, you want to invest, you want to and power. Well, I did that. I achieved that in business. I was making money. I had free time. I could do whatever I wanted, and I walked away from it all to spread this message, because this message is the message that frees us from the slave system that we're all in. And it's the first time in my life that I didn't do it for money. I didn't do it for money, and that's why the money comes in. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone's doing the math. They're like, it's got 230,000 people on the Friend Finder times $10 a year. Some people think it's $10 a month. It's not even. There's not that many people paying the $10, and a lot of that money goes right back into the app. All the money I make, I support myself, and it goes back into the app. So I wish other people could do that. And the other thing is, I'm kind of going off here, is people say, oh, who elected you leader? The answer is nobody. I'm not your leader. I'm just a guy doing everything I can do to get this message out, because this is the message. Nothing else will matter. I could become a billionaire, with another business, whatever. And if the world falls apart, what good is it? Right? I'm trying to wake people up and to stop, what the elite are trying to bring upon us. That's my goal. That's my goal.
What's your first? What's the? Listen, let's say there's some folks in here that are not on board. Where's your first start with them? If somebody's like, I'm open to this. What's your best shot? What's your elevator pitch to how do we even get this thing started? Because I'm not really even sure how I got started, other than somebody I really liked. I heard right into a comment somewhere that space was fake.
Yeah,
that's all it took. Well, somebody I really cared about. And I was like, there's no way they're saying that jokingly multiple times. I started looking into it and I was like, what the hell's going on here?
They did a great job making it to the point where people won't even look, right? I refuse to look. And I was doing a conspiracy podcast. I refuse to watch your 1 minute stupid flat earth video. But then my friend Sophia Smallstorm, another researcher who's done some great documentaries on some of the other hot topics, she's like, Dave, you got to look. And she sent me a couple of videos. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to debunk this. And for 2 weeks, I tried to disprove flat earth. I wasn't looking for the truth. I was looking just to disprove it, prove the globe, be done with this. And then I realized, holy crap, there's something here. So getting back to your question, where do you start with people? It's different for everybody. Some people, it's the Bible. It wasn't the Bible for me. It's right. Science. It's things. For me, it was, hey, we can see too far. And I was like, I live on the water. I bought the Nikon P900, went down. I had a perfectly calm, clear, cold, flat water day. I zoomed in on a buoy over 10 miles away, and I could see the surface of the water beyond the buoy. That's impossible. If you know the curvature formula, that buoy should be 60 feet below the curve. 60 feet. That means it's behind a 6-story building, but I can see it, right? So once you understand that, and then so for the people that are like, oh, this is bull, you don't know your own model, right? All of you people listening now that don't know, that think flat earth is stupid. What's the radius of the earth? Oh, you don't know. What's the circumference of the earth? Oh, you don't know that either. How fast is it spinning at the equator? Did you know it's spinning at a different speed in the northern and southern latitudes? Oh, you didn't know that. How far is it from the sun? How did they figure that out? Oh, you didn't know that either. Okay, well, how did they figure out how far and the sizes of the other planets? Oh, they got it from the radius. How did they figure out the radius of the earth? Oh, they got it from Eratosthenes. Oh, did you know Eratosthenes' thing is complete and total nonsense and doesn't prove either? It's not exclusive. So the people that think I'm stupid don't know their own model, and their idea of the flat earth is stupid. So here's how I get them in, because most people are interested in a little money. So I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. Just give me your globe proof, 1 clear globe proof. But before you do, I tell people, get the app, right? Go to every day there's a new featured video right here. Just while you're having your coffee every morning, just watch that one video for 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, go to the frequently asked questions page, which is the question mark, and make sure your reason that you think the earth is a globe is not listed there. It probably is. If it is, if you're like, oh, eclipses, go to the eclipses section and watch the videos there and go, oh, that idea doesn't work, and then go back to the drawing board. And you're not going to get your Bitcoins. I will pay them if you can prove the globe, guaranteed. Swear on my life. Okay. But the earth isn't a globe, so I have no fear in swearing on my life. So what is this world? We flat earthers have a lot of questions. Globers think they know everything, and they know nothing. So if you don't want to get the app, on my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down. There's a big banner that says Crash Course. And it's literally a playlist that Google is hiding from you of videos that are right on YouTube, but you'll never find them on your own. Watch the first 5. And I guarantee before you get through the 5th one, you'll be a flat earther.
Interesting.
So that's it. You know how you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. You can lead a person to a flat water, but you can't make them think critically about the shape of the earth.
It's so interesting. Dave, what are your
that was a Nathan Thompson quote. Cheers, Nathan.
Oh, I didn't get it.
You can lead a person
to
flat water, but you can't make them think critically about the shape of the earth.
Right.
Water lays flat. All right, there you go.
Water lays flat. Exactly. Every place I've ever been, it's been flat. So, one of the things that I think that I had to get over was this indoctrination about the shape of this earth. And it all came from the story, at least as an American, of Christopher Columbus. he was so heroic. He was going to fly or, ship take his boat and ship and go over and try to find India. And, just so happens he finds us. But everybody was scared that he was going to fall off the freaking plane. Is that one of the more annoying ones that people think that when you say flat Earth, that you're in some sort of disc floating through space?
I saw a documentary on Christopher Columbus just the other day, and I got to go back and watch it if I can even remember where it was. Maybe somebody could point it out to me. But they said that Christopher Columbus's trip was never to prove the shape of the Earth. That was just made up years and years later. He was just exploring the flat realm. You sail across the ocean. There's no edge to the Earth. I mean, we don't know what's beyond the shoreline of Antarctica. Antarctica is the highest continent on Earth, so they tell us, by double number 2. It's the shoreline that contains our water. You can't have a pond or a lake or an ocean without a shoreline that holds the water in.
So, okay. So then if we're not, okay, so I think some globe model people think that we're suggesting that there's a wall, that there's water in it, and that we're still floating through this outer space in the cosmos. Not as a ball, but as like a disc of some sort. I think that's what people think that we think. That's at least what I have to sort of overcome when I'm saying this is outer space, isn't like outside like space that we think of it. It's just land that just expands beyond. So do you have anything for that?
Here's our world, right? This is looking down at the world. You got South America, right? Africa, Australia. And this is the shoreline that holds our water in. This land is higher, double the height of the second highest continent, double the height. So this pink line is 60 degrees south latitude, just approximately. And nobody is allowed to independently explore beyond that. All the nations in the world somehow agree on that. And everyone's got to get the thing stuck in their arm, because, to save grandma. They all agree on things that will control you. So what's out here in the outer space? I don't know. No one's allowed to go there, but maybe the world is set up like this. Maybe we live inside this circle here, and there's more land beyond this shoreline. You can call it an ice wall. It's just high land. Are the cliffs of Dover a wall? Well, no, it's a shoreline. It's a cliff. You can call it a wall. Right? Could be thousands of miles wide. What's out here? If somebody lived, if this was real, not saying it is because we don't know, but there's lots of evidence that there is more land out there. I personally believe that there is, but I'm not going to hang my hat on it. If somebody lived on the territory out here in the outer area, what might you consider them if they came to visit you? An extraterrestrial from the outer space? Maybe. This is the map that was in all the schools, all the libraries. This is the map they use for navigation. This is the flat Earth map. Here's the shoreline. What's out here? What you do is you take that map, you cut it out, you wrap it around a ball, and you tell people this is where you live, and you can't go to this white area except to this little peninsula right here where we'll charge you thousands of dollars for 2 days, 3 days, show you some penguins, and then kick your ass out and send you back home. No one's allowed. No one ever crosses over from Santiago and pops up over in Australia like you should on a ball. You should just be able to go pop right underneath if the Earth was a globe, or right around here. Nobody ever does it. Nobody ever does it. I see some people in the chat, or one person is just laughing at us. You don't know what a fool you're making of yourself. But let me ask you a question. People say that we took the globe and spread it out to prove, to make our map. Well, we say they took our map and wrapped it around the globe. So which one is true? So this flight route tells you right here, New Zealand to Argentina. Now, go on Google Earth or Flight Aware or whatever and say, give me the fastest flight route from New Zealand to Argentina. And Flight Aware says it's a little curve right here. Makes sense, right? On the globe, you just fly across the bottom of this spinning water ball, right? Right there. Yeah. But it doesn't. The flight route goes from New Zealand to San Francisco, across the equator. Why would you cross the equator from going from one southern airport to another southern airport? Makes no sense, right? Then it goes from San Francisco to Houston, Texas, and then from Houston, Texas, all the way down to Argentina, right? On the any northern flights from a northern airport to another northern airport never, ever crosses the equator in any circumstance. Get all the northern airports, put them in a hat, pull out two at a time and draw a line between them, and none of them ever cross the equator. Makes sense. Earth is a ball. Also makes sense on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth, though, on a globe, the same thing should be true in the South, but it's not. If you look at it here, in the outer South, a straight line crosses the equator. San Francisco, Houston, Texas, Argentina, it's a straight line. It's a straight line. This happens all the time. So which one of these is a convoluted, made up version of the other? And the answer is the globe. The globe is a new concept, maybe 75 years old. Every culture, everywhere in the world taught flat Earth, understood the Earth to be flat. Well, they were more advanced than them. No, we're not. Go look at the old world buildings. Study the old world, and you'll realize that we are not at the pinnacle of civilization. We're literally in the final credits of the movie Idiocracy. So again, for those of you with your big egos laughing, oh, flat earther, you don't even know either models. So knock it off.
Have you ever had any regrets, sort of like being public with this and really putting your staking your name to this movement, or, whatever, this awakening we're trying to let people know about? Have you ever sort of regretted that? Like, I don't know, you've lost some friends, or something's happened, or
I've gained a lot of friends. I've lost some friends. I've lost some family. But it's okay. It's all right. I would never trade in the truth. I'm not Cypher in the Matrix. I will never go back into the Matrix. I'd rather know the truth. This place is amazing. The word boredom, the word jealousy, envy, all of that just disappears from your life when you understand that we are at the center of creation. Someone's asking about are planets even real? Well, let me ask you a question. This is the planet Pluto. They got a picture in the early 2000s. When was that? Doesn't say here. And it happens to have the shape of the dog Pluto on it. Well, Pluto was discovered in 2030, and Disney created the dog Pluto in 1930. Sorry, 1930. In the same year, Disney created the dog Pluto. That's weird, right? No, well, maybe Disney was just inspired, and they named it, right? So imagine in 1930, NASA said, "Oh, we found a planet. Nobody can really see it yet. It's a tiny little dot in the sky, a little light, but it's a planet." And we're going to name it the Tesla Roadster planet. Okay. And then, in the early 2000s, a spaceship flies by it and gets a picture, and there's a desert shaped like the Tesla Roadster. What are the odds of that happening?
Right.
Okay. So again, when we look up at the sky, and if you actually take the time to think about angular resolution, brightness, the brightnesses that we see, the planets, wandering stars, and the distances that they say that they are, none of it makes any sense whatsoever. We're shown this planet. This is the picture of Saturn that we all saw in all of our textbooks, but we took it off their website, put it in Photoshop, cranked up the levels, and we can see that it's just a crappy Photoshop slap, cut and paste, nonsensical job. There's no explanation in the heliocentric model for this other than you flat earthers did it. No, this is right off of NASA's website. We did this live on, taking the image off of NASA's website. That's just one of, we can just do planets for the next 3 hours if you want. All right. So again, NASA shows us this, but our consumer optics show us this. What are these? I think they're sentient. I think they're nothing like what they tell us. Nothing. Right. Let me show you something else.
Can I stop you on that?
Yeah,
because
please.
something I've heard people mention lately is something called like birth charts. That there's like almost like a cosmic signature, like when you incarnate or when you come here, and that the stars, it's almost like a snapshot of the sky, where the sun was, the moon was, the stars were. It makes me wonder about that. If there isn't some sort of characteristic or something, like you said, sentient sort of, I don't know. Might be getting too weird, but I don't know what your thoughts on that.
All of the planets are named after gods. Pretty, interesting. Look at everything. This is the Voyager craft going by Jupiter, right? So now notice, this is the big storm spinning. You got clouds going this way. You got clouds going that way. You got all stuff moving. So Jupiter this cloud pattern, storm pattern, would never, ever, ever, ever look the same, right? Years apart, right?
Right.
So this is the original picture that we saw of Jupiter from 2014. And then in 2016, they took this picture and they said, look, we see the northern lights. That shows that it has a magnetic core, just like us. All the clouds are exactly the same. Nothing has changed whatsoever. The only images that you have of planets are from NASA and Disney. And I'm telling you, Disney's way more credible than NASA. Do you ever see these planets? Like if NASA said, hey, we found these, they're just past Jupiter. Most space believers would believe in that.
Oh,
would
yeah.
you? They're cool looking planets, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Okay,
What the hell do I know?
and those are not CGI.
Mm.
Those are just frying pans with shit stuck all over them. Those are the bottoms of frying pans.
That looks like the damn moon.
Yeah, those are frying pans. But NASA, just shows us garbage, absolute and total garbage, right? Here's the star Sirius. When we zoom in, I'm seeing a wheel inside of a wheel.
Yes.
And if
my iPhone does this, if I zoom in and take a photo and then I'll zoom back in again, it looks like some sort of liquidy sort of plasma.
Yeah. This is Venus. Like there's some cymatic vibration thing going on up there. Right?
So I mean, what are your thoughts? It's a firmament. These are lights poking through the firmament. There's as above, so below, water
you
above.
Ask me, I think that they're angels, but that's just me. Again, any claim that anyone makes, flat earthers, scientists, physicists, anything about anything in the sky is a theory, right? Did you see this picture from NASA? Which planet do you think that is?
Oh, you mean the big yellow one there?
No,
that looks like the damn sun.
That's the sun.
That one there? Oh, I have no idea. It looks like Saturn. I don't know. Jupiter. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's actually just a moldy orange. All right. And I did that. And it took me 2 seconds. And I don't get $80 million a day like NASA.
Right.
Okay. It's just a moldy orange.
Right.
Again, and I was about to show you that's Earth over there. That's Earth over there.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
and I'm the camera. How I got over here as the camera, I have no clue. But
well, no, it's a Voyager spacecraft, took the picture.
Oh, that's right. That's
whatever.
Right.
So again, it's so easy. NASA shows us this. Anyone that believes this is a real photograph of something floating in a scientifically impossible space vacuum has lost their way. They're just, they say that the lie is so big that people can't see it. People say, well, I can't believe that NASA would lie to us. Well, that's because you can't believe it. That's true for you. You can't believe it because you're naive and you're unwilling to look at evidence. Well, why would they lie? So police show up to a murder scene and there's a dead body on the ground. There's holes in them. There's somebody on the floor on the other side of the room with a GUN in their hand. I'm just trying to make this not any trigger words. And
sure.
They don't say, well, why did I don't know. Well, why what's the motive? I don't see the motive, I don't see the motive. No, they look at the crime, they analyze the evidence, then they figure out the motive later. So for those of you that I'm taking away all of your excuses, wait until you see the evidence and then you can figure out the motive. And I think the motive is very clear. How about this? Well, the moon, do you think the moon is flat? Well, they do call it the lunar disk. They do call it the lunar disk. That's interesting. How big is this? Now, this is a model. Is it the size of a yoga ball or a golf ball? You don't know until you figure out how far it is. Here's somebody's hands. Well, how far is that? Maybe that's a gigantic ball, right? Or maybe it's the size of a baseball. And okay, we saw one half of it. So the moon could be upside down cup like that. We would never know because we only see one side of it. How about this one? Is that one a sphere? What shape is that one?
Yeah, it looks like a circle, like some sort of circle sphere.
It looks like a sphere because you have a highlight on it. The moon doesn't have a specular highlight. You know how a sphere should have a specular highlight. You see the specular highlight on this?
Yeah.
Right? It should have a specular highlight, but the moon, go look at the full moon. It's completely one brightness, and it's way too bright to be reflecting light. That's a whole other thing. But is that a sphere? No, it's flat.
Oh, whoa.
Is that a sphere? How about that one? Is that a sphere?
Well, now I'm starting to think it's flat.
You think that one's flat? Okay.
Well, I have no clue because now I'm getting tricked
it's a
up.
bowl. It's a bowl.
Oh, sugar.
Okay. And that one, is that one a sphere?
Don't tell me it's a triangle.
It's a sphere. See,
it's a sphere.
You don't know what to think. You don't know what to think until you can touch it. So again, saying the moon is a sphere is a belief. It's a religious belief. I think it actually might be a sphere, to be honest.
Well, let me ask you this, because it is one of, how did I get into this? It's just because I was staring outside every day from the same location every single day. And I would watch the moon, I would watch the sun, and I would just watch it, everything go. The same patterns, the stars, everything. I was like, nothing feels very random about this at all. And I surely don't feel like I'm spinning 1,000 miles per hour, on a ball. But so I started just kind of observing it. But the one thing that just does not make sense to me is the freaking moon. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small. It seems to change shapes. It's like, it looks like it's physical. I can see it with my own eyes. They tell me it's 230 something thousand miles away. And so what is it? What the hell is it doing?
So I think the moon is plasma. I think the answer to everything we don't know is plasma. Hold on.
I need to take a drink too.
So we're told that the moon is a dusty, dirty rock that's reflecting sunlight from 93 million miles away. The moon's 250,000 miles away from Earth. So if you know anything about light, light spreads out as it goes into the distance, so it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So if we see the moon this bright from Earth, it's a lot brighter from the moon. You go halfway to the moon, it's 4 times brighter. Halfway that distance again, it's 16 times brighter. Half that again, it's 64 times brighter. It's the inverse square law. And when you're 100 miles from the moon, it would be brighter than we see the sun from the Earth by magnitudes of times. But we're told that the astronauts, is just a dusty, dirty set. Well, I got a cement ball here, which is arguably more reflective than the moon because it's not covered with powder. It's kind of smooth. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. And it's noon. And the sun is right there, and I'm right next to it. How come it is not blinding me with reflected light? How come it's not casting my shadow behind me? How come it's not melting my face? Because it should, if you believe that this is reflected light from the moon. So what is it? Well, it's a light.
It is.
It is a light.
I heard somebody say recently, because I think somebody in the comments here was talking about eclipses, and I love this. I don't know what your thoughts are, but when people say that there's a full moon, they talk about it being like a full charge, like there's, the weirdos come out at night. So when we're seeing the moon's, shape and, whatever the different phases of the moons are, is it almost like it's powering down and powering up?
It sure seems that way, and people are like, what about the tides? The tides. So we're told that the moon pulls the high tide, right? When there's a full moon, there's higher high tides. When there's a new moon, the high tides aren't quite as high.
Yeah.
Right? But think about it. When there's a full moon, the moon is over here, the sun is over here. So that's a full moon. So you got the moon's gravity pulling the water away, and you got the sun's gravity pulling in the other direction. And there's a higher tide now. But then later, when the sun and the moon are on the same side of the Earth, we have a new moon. You can't see the moon because the backside is supposedly lit. So now you got the sun's gravity that can hold on to friggin' Pluto. You got the moon's gravity, both pulling on the ocean, and the tide isn't as high. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't make any sense, but what's going on with the tides?
So
it's not some sort of...
Yeah, it's an electrical thing. That's why only salt water has tides. There's
Ooh.
these tidal nodes all around the Earth that have no tide, and then high tide and low tide circle around these tidal nodes. It has nothing to do with the moon. Now, the moon does play in the tide, as I was saying, when it's fully charged up, it's putting more energy into the water, which carries the currents, the salt water, right? So tidal nodes completely destroy the globe model, right? The globe model is so dumb. Check this out. So we got the moon. This is from Neil deGrasse Tyson himself, right? The high priest of scientism, right?
Right.
The moon is pulling a bulge of water away from the Earth here. Wouldn't that make high tide? Wouldn't that make a low tide? Because the water would all go to the middle of the ocean and it'd be low tide. But whatever. It's pulling a bulge of water over here. Then 6 hours later over is a low tide, and then 6 hours over there's a high tide. Well, why is there a high tide on the other side of the Earth? Ready? Just remember, you're not stupid. It's stupid. This is the explanation. The moon's gravity is pulling the water away from the Earth, but the water on this side of the Earth is protected from the moon's gravity, but the Earth is being pulled away from the water, creating a bulge on the other side. The reason you're scratching your head is because it's stupid. You're trying to figure it out, but you can't because it's the dumbest thing you've ever heard. But that's the official explanation. What's dumber? That the moon is pulling the Earth away from the water, creating a bulge on the other side, making a high tide, or that Flight 93 hit the ground so hard that it swallowed it, it liquefied the ground, went so deep, and then re-solidified, and they can't dig it out. Which is dumber? Answer me. Which one is dumber? You have to answer.
It's really hard because it's really hard because I can go like 20 others. I'm thinking, how the hell did they fly that plane so perfectly into the friggin' Pentagon? This big giant plane,
well, I'm
so
talking
perfectly.
about Flight 93 in Shanksville. It hit the ground. The official story is it hit the ground so hard that the ground liquefied. It swallowed the plane and then re-solidified, taking the entire plane and its contents so deep into the Earth that they can't dig it out.
Wow. I didn't even know that was the story. That's fantastic.
It's just like people that fight against 9/11. They don't know the official story because the official story is the dumbest thing ever. You're not stupid. It's stupid.
It's because I feel like we're all kind of waking up to this kind of stuff because this whole Charlie Kirk thing was such a fiasco. Like whatever they were trying to tell us did not pan out the way they thought, just like COVID,
the sad thing on that is they put out so many little truth or traps, like, oh, it was the guy with the gun over here. It was this guy over here? It was this muzzle flash? It was Mossad. He went away. He went against Israel. All I can say is I don't want to talk about it here. Go to stoplookthink.com. Scroll down. There's a bar that says Charlie Kirk. Watch the first 10 or 20 videos there, and then you'll know. And now you won't be caught in the truth or trap. Stoplookthink.com. Stoplookthink.com.
Stoplookthink.com.
That's it.
Just do it.
If you want a short one, there's a video that says Charlie Kirk in 6 minutes. Just watch that.
Okay.
Follow me on X. Flat Earth Dave X. And
gotcha.
If you go down my timeline, there's lots of Charlie stuff there. But all the good stuff is already on stoplookthink.com.
Oh, so you're probably very busy on X.
Follow Peggy Hall.
Okay.
Peggy Hall, the healthy American. Go check her Charlie Kirk playlist. You'll love it.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's part of the Another Realm team is the side quest. So you just gave us a nice juicy side quest to go down. So what's the agenda? So why are they telling us? Who started this? Is this some sort of secret society that says, "Hey, we're gonna keep all the resources, and let's just tell these idiots we're on some sort of prison planet"? They don't know.
It was the Jews. It's always the Jews.
Is it actually the Jews? Is it actually the ones that came up with the idea?
I have no idea.
Seems like that's what they want us to.
I don't know. I have no idea. I just like saying that because it's always the Jews. So this is why. This is a star. Look at it. It's not a burning ball of hydrogen in a scientifically impossible space vacuum. This is something else.
That's not CGI.
This is not CGI. This is a star. I think stars are where we live. I think our souls are stars. I think it's here within this system. I think that we are what's the word? I'm looking for the word. We are immortal souls that cannot die. We are here having an experience, which people say, well, what about suffering? You know, you're going to God, and why would he do that? Because none of it's real. It's just an experience, right? If you went in, if you got a video game, the top of the line, shoot 'em up video game, and you went in there and nobody shot at you, would you return the game? Would you play it again?
No.
No, you wouldn't play it again, right?
No.
And then you're the king. You win every freaking time. You're like, you know what? Let me go as the guy in there that doesn't have the big gun. He's just got a little friggin' bow and arrow. Let me see what I can do there. And you just get destroyed every time. You're gonna keep playing it, right? This, not that nothing matters. We are all, in my opinion, this is my opinion. Again, this is all just theory. We are all just cells in the mind of God. We are all God. We're all together create God. And we are having an experience to expand the mind of God. And this place is unbelievable. Your worst enemy, when you go to the other side, you're going to high five them and go, Joe, that was friggin' great. You did a great job. You were up my ass the whole fucking time. And then you're going to go and you're going to have beers or play the harp or whatever you do up there. And you're going to have a good time. It's going to be, it's an amazing place. So they don't want us knowing any of that. They don't want us knowing that we are powerful creators. Hey, what is the moon phase? The moon phase is, we're almost at a new moon, right? Yeah, we're at
yeah.
It's just waxing. Everybody, I'm gonna give you a tip. This is what you got to do. I call it the moon manifestation cycle.
Okay. I'm writing this down.
You can just remember. It's very easy to remember.
Okay.
So the moon waxes. It goes from new moon to full moon in about 2 weeks. Then there's a full moon. Then it goes from full moon to no moon in about 2 weeks. So you have to, while there's a new moon, you have to set your intentions. Write them down, make them clear, and don't write stupid shit like, I want $1 million. No, you don't want $1 million. You want what you think $1 million is going to bring you. It's like, I want to feel more secure. I want more freedom. Figure out the things that are important to you that you want, that you're willing to walk in that direction. And you write those things down. And now there's different techniques. You can write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times before you go to bed. The same thing. Write it down again and again and again. And you do that every day, and you think about it every day for the 2 weeks. And then when the moon becomes full, you give gratitude like you already have it, whether you see it or not, whether it's physically manifested or not. You give gratitude. And then for the next 2 weeks, I call it a vacation. You don't have to worry about it. Just chill, relax, glide. Don't worry about what you're thinking of. Because it sounds pretty easy. 3 times a day, I just got to really think about these things. It's actually a little work. It's a little work. We're so distracted by design that we don't pay attention to these cycles that we live in. They throw us off daylight savings time, our jobs, 9 to 5, all of this stuff. They want us off balance. You do that even for 1 cycle, let alone 2 or 3, everything changes. Everything in your life changes. You've heard of manifestation boards, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I've heard about manifestation boards for decades before I finally made one. I was like, I'm going to make one, right? 20 years later, I made one, right? And I put this stuff on it. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do this. And I cut out pictures. I wrote things down on it. I did the whole thing. And the last thing I wrote on it is, I want to be the CEO of my own company. I didn't even know what CEO stood for. Okay. I didn't even know. Had it, looked at it daily, ended up in my closet, right? A couple years later, I don't know, was it 5 years? I find myself, I had left the solar industry that I was in and started my own business in the solar industry. And it was the end of the month and I was in the office closing out some jobs on the books. I was like, wait a minute, I'm the CEO of my own company. And I went back and I looked at everything on that list and it all had manifested in my life. I didn't even notice. All of it was real. I'm wondering if I did it in the moon cycle, if it would have happened even faster. Okay.
You think you think, because I've heard somebody say one time, it was like JP Morgan, that, millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Is this something, there's some sort of magic to this. There's some sort of hidden.
That's why they lie about the globe. They don't want us knowing that where we live. They don't want us discovering the moon manifestation cycle. They don't want us to know that our thoughts create our reality. They don't want us to know that there's more resources, free energy. Go on my app. If you go to the old world page, which is the Griffin button right here, there's great stuff. Do you watch My Lunch Break?
I do.
Okay. Are you addicted?
Amazing.
Are you addicted?
100%. It's like
Right.
10, 15 minutes long. It literally is like his lunch break, and it just blows your mind every time.
Absolutely. They're fantastic. I haven't missed a single episode. And then there's other guys on here too. All of these other channels are great. I think even Guy Anderson's on here. I think Guy's on here. He's not.
I think he is.
Yeah, he's somewhere in here. And there's great, if you're brand new, Old World Order by Sean Hibbler. Have you looked into the Nephilim or clowns?
Yes, I have.
Holy crap. Okay. And another one, I met this guy when I went to Spain, this conspiracy music gurus gathering. Our history in a different view. Outstanding. Mind-blowing.
Really?
Mind-blowing. And then the other one, Warnon's The Lost History of Flat Earth. Have you watched that?
I have not seen that.
So there's a whole series in here, but the first video is 5 hours, over 5 hours, right? So people, when that one first came out, I tell the story all the time, but it's worth telling again. 5 hours. People send it to me. I'm like, I don't have time to watch a 5-hour video. And another person sent it. I was like, you know what? I'll take a look at it one day. One night, 11 o'clock, I'm cleaning up. Let me just throw this on the TV while I'm cleaning up. 5 minutes later, I wasn't cleaning up anymore. Next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. And I'm my hands on my head. I'm just going, what the hell just happened? Right? I was like, I'm blown away. Went out, did my daily work, came home, and I watched the entire thing again. I watched it twice in 24 hours.
And this is the one, that's the one you were just pointing to, that last one?
That one on the Old World page, go down to The Lost History of Flat Earth. It's the first one in that series, and it will blow your mind. Blow your mind. Have you looked into the Cabbage Patch Kids?
Oh, yes, I have.
If you're brand new to this, don't go there yet. You're not ready. Right? Is that good advice?
It is good advice. It really is, because it is. I think about it. I probably think about it weekly, if not daily.
So this page alone, Hangman, the guy that's just showing you, he's discovered trees that are 80 miles in circumference. 80 miles. Someone just told me the other day, have you heard of tree earth? I'm like, what's that? They said the entire earth is a tree. We're living on the stump of a giant tree. Now, I can't even take that mental effort to really think that through, but I can't rule it out. I mean, this place is way, way bigger than we're thinking. Way bigger.
I was kind of on a thing recently. I can't remember her name. She does a lot of this kind of research with these like trees and energy and like ley lines and stuff. But we were basically kind of coming to this sort of like realization that these major cities may have been like giant tree stumps, and that the roads that led outside of the big tree were routes, aka roots. Holy crap. That's my...
Well, if you look underneath the cities, there's tunnels everywhere.
Yeah, and water. There's like unlimited water apparently under the ground.
How about this? They're saying that things that live underground live longer than things that live above ground. Like termites, the queen is always underground for her whole life, lives 40, 50, 60 years, right? And the workers only live a day or two, a couple days.
Interesting.
So why are all of the elite, like Zuckerberg, building underground complexes? Maybe because that energy, the Earth's energy, their resonance. When you're underground, you have all of those that they call it negative charge, but it's not negative. That's just a word they put on it, probably to trick us. It's literally what resonates with our body. And I'm curious if someone that can do a study of people that live equally as far as nutrition and exercise, everything, but people that live closer to the ground or in the ground versus people that live maybe in high rises or something, what the life expectancy is.
I mean, something I do probably daily is do what I call grounding, just like get close to the ground. I take my shoes off, I get close to a tree, and I am standing on a grounding mat right now. I'm always grounded. I rarely ever wear shoes. My mother, my entire life, and like, you're going outside without shoes on? Like, I'll take the garbage out in the middle of the winter without my shoes on.
And my wife does the same thing. She's like, "Why aren't you wearing shoes?" I'm like, "I don't wear shoes."
Well, what is your like? So listen, I mean, it's like, what's our mission here? Are we trying to wake everybody up? And if we do, are we targeting ourselves? Like, are we like going to be the next people in the insane asylums when they run this thing back again?
They might try it, but here's the thing that I believe. This is, and people are like, "Oh, I don't think we understand how this world works. We have God-given free will, right? So God created nature. We're born. We have God-given natural law, which is very simple. Don't kill anybody. Mind your own business, right? Help the neighbor next to you. Love everybody. That's basically the only law out there. But when we're born, they turn us into a stock certificate. They poke us with poisons and they put us on a ball. And the ball, they created the ball. Therefore, we have to play by their ball field rules. And then they put us into debt. We agree. We take our credit cards and our college loans and everything. And so now we're stuck in their fake fiat system. So they're controlling us. They're hiding technology. They're hiding more resources. So we've agreed to all of these things. Now, the only way that they can control us is with false evidence appearing real, which is FEAR, fear. And if you don't live in fear, I do not accept. Like when I walk through the airport, I've been on a lot of flights recently. There's cameras, facial ID me everywhere. It doesn't matter where I am. They know we're on facial ID all the time. But when you go to the gate or the check-in, they want you to use your face to check in now. I always stand to the side of the camera. And they're like, stand in front of the camera. I'm like, I'm going to opt out. And they're like, oh, no problem. They have no problem with it. Knowing that they captured my face a million other times, but I didn't consent, right? Voting does nothing. Voting in elections does nothing other than gives your consent to have a ruler. No matter who you vote for, you are giving your consent that somebody can rule over you, whether you win or lose based on your vote. So not giving that energy is how you can break the system. So as far as, being on that list, ending up in their insane asylums, I don't believe they can touch us unless we somehow give them permission.
And that's why they have to have the celebrities, the politicians, they have to own them all to fashion this story so that we're all bought into their agenda. What's the agenda? What's going on? Listen,
the agenda is to make us all worker slaves, make us just, serve them. And here's the other thing. It's a spiritual war. You don't understand. We are immortal souls having this experience here. Well, there's disembodied souls. There's evil souls. They're all over the place. And they're literally trying to control everything. And they live off of our loose energy, right? Fear. I think that amusement parks are literally loose energy extractors, right? They want to take your loose energy. So if they keep you in fear, nuclear bombs, nuclear bombs are fake. If you're unsure, if you don't know about that, go to my website, flatearthdave.com. Down at the bottom, nuclear bombs banner. Take the time, listen to the research that's been done for you. We've made it easy. Nuclear bombs are not real, right? Yeah. Big bombs are real. People die. Wars are real, but they're not real wars.
Right. So that's what's happening. They're definitely seeming to they're ramping up some sort of worldwide conflict to then usher in digital surveillance, mass vaccines, blah blah blah.
Right. So
what are we gonna do?
Well, we're gonna just not consent. Now, listen, we have to. Everyone's like, oh, I had to do it. I had to be a human pincushion because I had to keep my job. No, that was a choice you made, right? But there are ways to get by these things. If you've made a mistake in the past, it's okay. As long as you notice you made the mistake, just work your way forward. Do not consent. Because let me tell you something. What if everyone in the world watches this podcast tonight, right? So all 3 billion people in the world, not 8, 3, watch this podcast and say, you know what, they're right. I no longer pay attention to the government. What could the government do about that? Nothing. Government, money, it's a belief system, right? If you were here and I said, hey, that's a good looking sandwich you got there. Can I give you $20 for it? And I hold out a $20 bill. You're like, you know what? I'm kind of full. You take the 20, I take the sandwich, right? That's a belief system. You believe that 20 is worth what the sandwich is, right? I'm going to eat the sandwich. You have to hope that somebody's willing to give you something else for that 20. It's a belief system. It's all just belief. So again, we have to stop playing on their ball field and stop playing with their fiat currency and get away from it. Trade with each other. Come up with your own currency. Use privacy cryptocurrencies. Whatever it is, just don't use their currency. Don't use their digital ID. Now listen, yeah, I use credit cards. I buy stuff online. I fund Bezos and this stupid Amazon, right? Because out of convenience, sometimes when you can't get something, you gotta go there. But the less we do it, the better, right? We need to support each other. We need to, we're at critical mass right now, right? If you look on my app, if you go to the friend finder, let me just go to the world view.
This is amazing, by the way. The fact that you have so many people that are claiming that they're flat earthers, and they are also showing where they live.
Well, it doesn't show you exactly where you live. I changed that. So it puts you within, 5 miles.
But it's a hell of a dating app.
It certainly is a dating app. But these are the people that have my app, okay? They're all over the world, right? Where did Europe go? There we go. This is the UK. Right?
God dang.
And so it's only like, I'd say less than 1% of the world. It's only 1% of the world. And as you mentioned dating app, if we go here, let me just go here. If you go, you click the heart, and so I have myself listed as 1 year old, so I don't show up in anyone's thing because I'm married. I'm female. I'm in this age group. I say within 1,000 miles. You can change the range closer, and there's 152, right? And so it's going to take a moment to load. And so you can go on here and you can message people. You can swipe. You can add them to favorites soon. And you can start a conversation. There's actually marriages and children that have happened because of this, right?
I have to ask you this because I'm a grandfather, 3-time grandfather. I'm a father of 6 children, adult children.
Yeah.
What are your suggestions? I mean, I believe this way. I believe that the world is flat. I believe that's the realm. That's my perceptions. I'm sticking to it. How do you navigate that with your kids and your,
How old are your kids? Your kids are all older,
well, the
right?
grandkids are, my kids are all in like 20s, and then I had a couple that hit 30.
So if you, they love money, right?
Oh yeah. They're successful. They're smart.
So you can say, you can do it as simple as you want, or you can go complicated. You can say, open up a checking account and throw a couple $1,000s in there. Throw whatever you want in there and say, I'm going to put money in here every week, and the first one of you that comes up with a globe proof gets it. Then they're going to look, right? The only way you become a flat earther is you try to prove the globe. That's how you become a flat earther.
Right.
And just say, if they're like, Dad, you're wrong, just say, well, then if I'm wrong, that means that you must have evidence unless you're just religious. Let's say it's a religious belief that the earth is a globe, which it is. And, you can do it. Money, that's the easiest one. You can try logic and reason. You could say, hey, I've got this great video. So if you go to the more resources section, which is the web button, if you long press any button, it tells you what it does, by the way, just so when you're trying to learn the app, because there's a lot of buttons now. There's a section called FE Movies. Invite the kids over. Say, we're going to watch a movie and you're going to help me prove the globe so we can win Dave's 3 Bitcoins, right?
Okay.
And, invite them over for dinner, take their phones away, throw on the videos in this list, and because you're never going to find them on your own. And there are actually some really good ones. Watch the Level series, The Next Level, and Level with Me, all by Sean Hibbler. Amazing. There's
blew my mind away. They're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So watch a couple, whatever it takes. Bribe your kids, like, oh, you want to do this thing? Oh, you want me to buy you this that you're going to buy them anyway. You go, you know what? I'll buy it for you if you watch this movie with me. Right? They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
I know.
Now give them some beers too. It's like, here, I'll give you some beers while you watch the movie. Right? That would
be a fun night. All right.
But you don't even have to really bribe your kids, because let's say it's something that you're going to do for them anyway. So now throw a caveat in there. They got to watch a flat earth movie for the thing that you were going to do anyway. Right?
Exactly. And, sneaky teaching.
Yeah. I wish I discovered the earth was flat when I was 20. It'd be amazing. It'd be absolutely amazing.
But for people that don't know, I think you and Owen Benjamin have done a number of shows together, and Owen had probably one of the greatest like public awakenings to the flat Earth, because he's one of the most intelligent guys I've come across, and his dad was like a. You got some of those?
If you go to the video search, which is that and just type in Owen. Let's just say just type Owen. Let's see if that works. Search, and there's a bunch, but it's his awakening. I'm the one that edited that together.
Okay, it's amazing.
Yeah,
good job.
Where is it? Well, I got a lot of Owen stuff in here. Let's try again. I say
he's
Owen,
fantastic.
Awakening.
Big bear.
It might not come up because I didn't type it in order. Owen Awakening.
But I can't remember his dad. His dad is like a physicist or something, or was like a professor or something. So he's not like some.
Owen gets it. He knows the Earth isn't a globe. He's not buying any model, but that's okay. Well, it's in here somewhere. It's the Awakening of Owen Benjamin.
Yeah. Hey. Do you know Sevon? Have you been on Sevon's show?
Is it up in
Sevon
here?
Matosian. This is a guy that sort of inspired me to doing podcasts. He's right here. I don't know if you know him. He's had Hibbler on his show a couple times. He would definitely be a.
I'd love to do anyone's podcast. I may have done it. I've done over 1,400 podcasts, so I only have enough memory for 900. So there's lots that I have forgotten.
You by far are the most organized man I've ever met.
Well,
I don't know if that's.
I'm doing my best. I'm going to try it. Hold on. The Awakening of Owen Benjamin. I don't want to type it. And there it is. Boom. The Awakening. The Awakening of Owen Benjamin. That's the one you're talking about.
That's the one. It's so good.
So no, Owen came onto the scene.
It's fun.
Mark Sargent messaged me and a bunch of other people. It's like, hey, check out this guy, this comedian, Owen Benjamin. He's talking about the moon landing, and he's crushing the moon landing. And everyone's in the chat going, check out Flat Earth, check out Flat Earth. And he was refusing, just like we all did, right? And then they're like, you got to have Flat Earth Dave on, Flat Earth Dave, and they're going wild. And then they're doing, the people are saying, no, not Flat Earth Dave, have Eric Dubay on, Eric Dubay. And I'm like, yeah, have Eric Dubay on, right? Eric Dubay could do a good job. And then some shit happened between Owen and Eric. Like Eric was being just like his little snooty self. And Owen, you can't be snooty to Owen because he's a fucking comedian.
Right.
So that whole thing blew up. And I ended up going on. And, I just recorded all the clips of his awakening. He did basically what we all did, but did it live on the air. And in a comedic style. That's one of my favorite videos. And YouTube keeps taking that video down. I think the one that shows up there, I think that's actually on my blockchain server because YouTube keeps taking it down.
Yeah, I've been hanging out at Rumble usually for Owen if I get a chance to. And then there's
did you watch his show yesterday?
I missed it. I haven't seen it.
He got my super chat. I sent him a package.
Oh, you okay? I'll have to check it out.
It's pretty funny.
Well, man. Well, so I don't know. So what's next? What do you have going on? What's moving? Actually, somebody messaged me and said, "Hey, you're going to be in Acapulco or something."
Oh yeah. So
what is that?
In Acapulco, it's a big truther conference, and this year it's not in Acapulco. It's in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh.
It's on my website. It's also in the app. If you go to the shopping cart page, if you check it out. And it's February, what does it say? 15th through the 20th. It's a 5-day thing. It's actually longer than that. There's stuff after. Great vacation. Bring the family, bring the kids. I got a whole kid center there. And I spoke there 2 years ago. This is my third year. And the first year I went, I'm like, okay, because I tried to get on there, a couple years earlier. And Jeff Berwick, the guy that runs it, says, oh, no, people aren't ready for Flat Earth yet. He was kind of, I disagree, but he was kind of right. And then finally 2 years ago, he's like 3 years ago, whatever it was, he goes, all right, Dave, I want you to come this year. And I figured, out of the 50 speakers, maybe 10% of them were flat, out of the audience, maybe 20% of the audience was looking into it. I get up on stage and I go, how many of you think the Earth is a spinning globe? And 6 people raised their hand out of like 500. Okay. I'm like, what? I was like disappointed. I was like super disappointed. But it's been it's such a great conference. I am speaking on day 1 this year. So if you're coming, the first day I'm speaking in the afternoon.
Wow, that's awesome. So you made a whole career of this. You're in the truther community. I don't know. Do you like that name?
Well, here's the thing. People are like, oh, what are you, a truther?
Yeah.
You want the truth? I'm like, yeah. Literally, they think that's an insult, that you're a truther. Like, what are you, a faker, a liar, a deceiver, an idiot? No, I'm a truther. I want the truth. I'm not going to listen to the mainstream nonsense. When you say make a career out of it, I had a career. I had a great career, and I was making lots of money, and I had a great future. And I walked away. I'm now working more than I ever have in my entire life, and I love it. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I work all the time. I barely sleep, and when I'm sleeping, I'm usually thinking of stuff. Right? I'm usually putting stuff together, and I think that this is just a mission for me. And the funny thing, we all need money, but money is not near the top of my list. My list is to wake people up, teach people to love each other, teach people to not be afraid, teach people that you don't live on a spinning wet rock in a scientifically impossible space vacuum, teach people that you are a super powerful creator, teach people that there is a creator. That's another thing. In my truth journey, I was listening to podcasts. These guys are great. Got notes. They're writing all stuff, conspiracy, health, whatever it was. And then they'd mention God, the Bible. And I'm like, oh, religious fanatics, tear it up, unsubscribe, never watch again. Because that's where I was coming from. And then when I discovered, okay, the earth is flat, which means that it's intelligently designed, which means that we are in some sort of enclosure, which can't come from a big bang. Oh my God, there's a creator. I had no choice. And there are passages in the Bible and other religious books that basically say, once you see my creation, you can no longer deny my existence. And I think that's the motive. They got to hide the flat earth because it's hard to control people that know. I don't have faith in God. I know there's a God. I know that we're not on a spinning ball. I know that space is fake. So they don't want that because they can't control you. And, if everybody woke up to flat earth, let's say everybody in the world bought my app and subscribed, I would have billions and billions of dollars, but they'd all be worthless because all the governments in the world would collapse. They would all collapse. All the money would collapse. That's my goal. My goal is to have billions and billions and billions of worthless dollars. That's my goal. That's my goal.
Wow, man. Well, listen, I just like this hanging out with you and just like every time I have a question, I think, I wonder what he thinks. I wonder what you guys think.
Well, go to the frequently asked questions page on the app. That's one of the best places to go to find stuff. But and then also you can search for videos on the app. And I want people to notice. I want you to come back to this stream tomorrow or the next day and look at the comments. Now you'll see comments from flat earthers going, yeah, and you'll see comments from people that aren't flat earthers asking like, hey, how does an eclipse work? How does the sun set over the ocean if the earth is flat? Or wouldn't it be daylight? Those are legit questions because we all had those questions. But then you'll also see the ones that come out attacking. Dave's a grifter. His app uses globe math to calculate. Dave's app is leaking data. By the way, the only data you put in the app is the data that you want to share with every other user. So like, what the hell could I be leaking? They're going to be saying all these things, but then you go to that channel, check out that channel, and it's an empty channel. It's a bot channel. There's zero content. You check out the comments from the real people that are asking that, that are saying real things. And those are real channels. But it's weird that all of the anti-flat earth channels are empty troll channels. There's trolls that find they follow me for years, and they're the same trolls, and they still haven't put anything on their channel. Zero. I call those the globe proof channels because they have all of the globe proofs on their channels, which is nothing.
Yeah, so it seems that there seems to be this is the one topic that seems to get people kicked off or demonetized or
who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I guess.
Who cares?
Yeah.
The truth matters, and we're at critical mass now. If every flat earther woke up one person a week or one person a day or one person a month, the whole world would know in a really short period of time. It's incredible. Yeah. We're at that number already.
Wow.
Globers have insults. They have lies. They have, the lies are weak. The truth is strong. And, prove it. If someone thinks that the earth is a globe, give me one proof. And you just won 3 Bitcoins. That's over 300 grand.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Dang.
But you're not too excited about that because the earth is not a globe. So you can't win it.
Yeah, and plus, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of with you with the whole money thing, I mean, like, I like money. I understand I'm in a system that needs money and stuff like that, but it's not my God. And I'm sure that would come with some weird stuff, too. So, listen, I really appreciate you coming on. I would love to talk to you down the road again. I think you're fantastic. I think your app's unbelievable. And I love how public, facing you are, and you're unashamed to speak your mind about what you believe, and that's kind of how I feel. And so I appreciate you.
Before Flat Earth, I thought I was super smart. I was basically ignorant to lots of things, but basically we're all ignorant. Ignorant's not a bad word. We're ignorant to anything we don't know. I'm ignorant to what your last name is. I don't know. All right.
It's unknowable.
You have a belief. Do you know where I live?
No.
All right. I live in Connecticut. Do you know where I live?
In Connecticut.
Gun to your head. Do I live in Connecticut?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you're not going to bet. You're not going to bet on it, right? You're not going to bet on it because we have to sort things out. People believe they live on a globe, but they have no idea why, right? So if we had to sort every single thing out, we would never have time to do anything. So we have to believe. We have to, like when I said I live in Connecticut, you're like in a microsecond, you're like, well, he sounds a little bit like a New York Jew. That's kind of near Connecticut. Why would he lie? I think I've heard him say it before. I looked on his Facebook. It looked like Connecticut, some of the pictures that he took, and you stored that as probably true. No need to verify.
Right.
Okay. But we stored stuff about the globe before we had the ability to think. Before we were age 7, we were sponges, and we were taught the globe before we can talk. The first thing they teach you in school, the globe and the sun and the earth, the moon, the more orbit, the orbits. It's all nonsense. It's all about mind control.
Yeah.
So all I can say is go to flatearthdave.com, watch the crash course, download the app, subscribe to the app. It's less than a beer in a bar. And the app is a one-time cost of $3. If you want to subscribe afterwards, you can subscribe afterwards. It's $11 a year. A year, not a month, a year. And you can find your significant other. You can create meetups on there. You can, there's a biblical section with amazing stuff in there, blow you away. If you're looking for people to follow, there's great featured channels right here. The images section, you can pull up anything you want when you're talking to somebody. And one other thing is this one, there's no proof of flat earth. If you go to this button right here, which is the flashcards. Whoops, wrong button. I hit the flashcards, and these are flat Earth flashcards. Thanks to Nathan Thompson, who came up with this great list. And you could just swipe between cards. It goes from card to card, and if this eye icon shows up, that means there's a video or a website attached to that. You can click it; it'll tell you more about that. So for your friends that go, "There's no proof of flat Earth," just find one that you like and then text them every morning. Just send them another one. And every day until they either block you or become flat earthers.
I love it.
Yeah, amazing, right?
I love it. Well, you've done a great job.
Thanks.
You're doing the Lord's work. So
that's what some people say. It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It feels like, there's something that you feel is, not being, there's being some sort of dishonesty going on in the world. Yeah, it feels honorable to shed light on it. And if it's needs more questions or, we should have open discussions and look at it without ripping each other apart and just question why it's so sensitive to talk about. It's like, my God.
People are very the app's $3 one-time charge. And the subscription's yearly, and then they auto bills you. It auto bills you, but it warns you before it's going to bill you again. You can also get the subscription and cancel it, and you still have it until it ends, right? So you don't have to worry about the auto charge. Or you can go to my website, click the donations that button, figure out any way you want to donate 10, 20, or 30, or whatever you want, $10 per year. And then I will activate your app for that amount of time that's non-reoccurring.
Oh,
so people are like, I don't want to put it on. It's on my parents.
yeah.
I'm on my family plan. I don't want them to see it. So
Oh,
you
that's
just,
funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can just, but make sure you make the donation and then send me the receipt in an email or in a note saying, hey, this is for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years subscription. There you go.
Well, this is the last thing I would say is just like there isn't any entertainment. Like, you know what I mean? Every time I watch anything, I'm blasted with a giant globe right in the beginning, or we're talking about some space war thing. And so it's nice that you're saying that there's some entertainment there. You can actually go there, and this can kind of be a place for you to.
Loved movies every night. I want to watch a movie every night. I rarely watch movies until I I was like, all right, I just need to disconnect, and I'll watch something, like the Terminator or whatever. But there's so much content out there. Flat earthers don't sleep because we're afraid we're going to miss something. It's FOMO, right? That's our biggest problem. It's all FOMO, right? Because there's so much content out there. Go on TikTok, and every morning, Angels of Light from Australia, he's on late night there, which is like 6 a.m., 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m. East Coast time. And he does these lives where he lets Globers come up one at a time and present their proof. It's hysterical. It's so funny. It's so funny. And I jump on those lives a lot. There's a bunch out there. Follow me on TikTok, Flat Earth Dave. I think that's my channel. Flat Earth Dave. Yeah, pretty sure.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for listening. This is the biggest numbers I've ever seen on my channel ever, Dave. I don't know if that's just what it's like every time you go
Everyone loves Flat Earth, man. Everyone, whether you hate it or not, you love it. You love it because it resonates with your soul. You know what? Last thing is, I've seen Flat Earth lift people up out of depression, lift people out of drug addiction. Because why people get addicted to drugs probably due to something that's depressing in them. Let me tell you what depresses you. Your soul is your spirit. Your soul is trying to talk to your conscious mind. Your soul agreed to come here with amnesia and kind of just steer your life a little bit, but let you figure it out. But when you get lost in the news, when it's steering your mind, the news, NEWS, north, east, west, south, steering your mind. When you get lost in the nonsense and the fear and the FUD, your soul gets tired of trying to talk to you. And when you don't listen to your soul long enough, your soul gets depressed. Boom, there's your depression. Then when you discover Flat Earth, your soul's like, hey, wait, he's looking. He sees that rock is a tree. He sees that this is not what he thinks it is, and your soul spirit lifts. I've seen people lift up out of depression, get off all of their stupid drugs, even the pharmaceutical ones that the antidepressants and stuff. I've seen people lift up and get new lives out of this and become new spirited people. So Flat Earth matters more than anything else, right? Well, what about child trafficking and starvation? All of that is happening because people are lost in space, spinning out of control, don't know where they are, don't know who they are, don't know the power that they have. All of the nonsense, all of the shit that the elite get away with. I'm going to end with a joke, by the way. All the shit that they get away with is because people are lost and spinning out of control. And if you're spinning out of control in an infinite space vacuum with a distant God at most, you can be fooled that breathing on grandma will kill her. Okay.
This was just to end with just to button it up. I was thinking to myself, that is when I first realized this was a spiritual war. When I realized this, that was the first time I actually ever understood that. I was like, okay, there's a big deception going on, and that seems evil. Okay, here we go.
All right, I'm going to end with a joke. Ready?
Yes.
And it may not be a joke, but it's a joke. But it may not be a joke. Do you eat meat?
Oh, yeah.
I do too. All right, and listen, vegans out there, I hear you. Relax. Okay. So do you eat bear or coyote? No. You eat animals that are vegetarians. Cows, right?
Yeah.
Mostly, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and that's because it tastes better. Do you know why the elite are pushing veganism?
No.
Because they taste better.
Oh.
Now,
Soylent Green.
is that a joke?
That's a joke.
Is it a joke?
It's a joke. It's
Is
a
it a
joke.
joke?
It's serious, but it's a joke. I mean, it's a serious. It's serious, but we're making a joke out of it because we all kind of agreed. We're all kind of like, yeah. But today we hear a report that like 78% of sausage is human DNA or something,
Well,
and you're like, oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying that the elite think that vegans taste better. That's all I'm saying. All right, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thanks.
All right,
See ya.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.